Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 115. My name is Jason Erpeling. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with the bearded wonder, Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and BuyandSellDVC.com.
And today is April 19th, 2023. That's actually my sister-in-law's wedding anniversary. But so the 11th month mark from today is March 19th, 2024.
Your
the
sister-in-law's wedding anniversary?
Yeah.
Not like your brother's or?
No, my sister-in-law's.
Because
I just remember that we had to go to New York. It's 4/19, one day before 4/20. So, I don't know, I just stuck out of my mind. Sorry, I just got
wedding anniversry. It's like, really?
Just got distracted there.
Oh, that's okay.
It was a big trip. She got married in Central Park. It was, cool. It was a, I don't go to a lot of weddings, I will say. I don't have any brothers or sisters.
I think sometimes they like it when we go off on a tangent. It's kind of fun because we never know where we're going and stuff just kind of goes.
And the 7-month mark is November 19th, 2023. I think that it was actually 4/19/2014. But anyway, it's a good reminder for me. So we're going to jump right into the buy and sell side of things. And as of the time that we're filming this episode,
Wonder of the Seas is still the largest ship.
And they've run, they're running incentive on Animal Kingdom pricing if you buy direct. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So, of course, last year in 2022, they were buying all the Animal Kingdom properties back, the Saratoga Springs properties back.
Yes. Still never understood that Saratoga buyback one.
Yeah, and it's like, why were you buying all these back, So now, the Animal Kingdom direct pricing is 210 points, $210 a point. And
Yowza.
And if you buy, so now the incentive is if you buy 150 to 174 points, it's $14 off 196. If you buy 175 to 199, it's 17 off 193, 200 249, 27 off 183. If you go past 250, to me, you shouldn't be buying deeds that big anyway. But anyway, I just want to bring this up because
that's Disney's great promotion.
Yeah, and this happens sometimes when I comment on other in Facebook groups on a different post or something like that. I mean, the difficult with me buying direct, if I know everything, so let's say I buy 200 points at $183 a point.
To get the best deal possible.
To get the best deal possible.
Okay.
I know now if 4 months from now, something happens where I need to sell that property, I'm taking a huge loss on that property. Yeah. So I can't stomach buying that, knowing that. Now, what happens is people are like, well, you're not taking a huge, if you bought in 1992 all the way up till, 2012, I don't know, direct from Disney, when you go to sell your property, you're selling it for way more than what you paid. That's just the reality. But if someone just bought this right now, I don't know when Animal Kingdom Resale is going to sell for $183 a point.
I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Right. So that's, you know what I mean? So it's
there's no chance that they're going to get their money back. If you're buying direct, even with Disney's great promotions, their great promotions right now, they're nowhere near what the resale market is. And can you picture Animal Kingdom coming up to 183?
I mean, it could happen
30 years from now, maybe. I mean, maybe you'll get there.
Because there's if you would have asked me in 2007, do I see these prices for Beach Club happening? I would have probably said, oh, that's not going to happen because there's going to be less years and all these new resorts. Yeah. So I mean, it's possible that it can happen.
I think it's highly unlikely though.
But it's definitely going to be. It could be 10 years before that happens. So I just want to, I'm not trying to, slam buying directly from Disney, but to me, there's certain resorts where it just doesn't make any sense for you to buy directly from Disney. Especially if you're another thing I see is there's so many people that are already Blue Card members that are looking to add on. Every purchase after that should just be resale, 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 resale.
You've got the perks.
Yeah, you've already got the perks. It's a blue card.
No reason.
So when you make that reservation at Animal Kingdom using resale points, it doesn't mean that you on a vacation with a resale card. No, you have the blue card for every vacation for as long as you keep that blue card contract.
Yeah.
So that's I mean, again, I just wanted to say, you know, and what did I write on here? I mean, you're talking. I mean, this is an example that I have. This is someone bought an Animal Kingdom for $108 a point. That's a $20,400 difference on a 200-point property.
Now, mind you, we're not coming into this emotionally. Like a lot of people who buy Disney contracts, they're emotional about it. They're emotional about Disney, and I want all the perks. I want to say this. You're talking about two people here who do Disney stuff, but we're economics majors, so we're thinking about this, monetarily. And you go, yeah, you could get the extra perks if you buy directly through Disney, but it'll be a $20,000 difference. I mean, that's insane, And you'll go, oh, I'm never going to sell my contract. I'm buying this. I love Disney. I'm never selling it. Stuff happens. What he does for a living is he sells DVC contracts, and I'm sure the majority of these people, weren't thinking that they were going to be selling it at this point. It's just stuff happens in life. The way vacation changes, things always change. It's not always something horrible. Something just we don't go as much as we used to. Our kids are too old; they don't want to go anymore.
Well, it's like
there's lots of reasons to sell.
I feel like it's like, oh, my son just got on this amazing lacrosse team, and we got to sell because we're going to be traveling. Like it's just like life. It's like
picture the example where you've got two next door neighbors, and that both houses are for sale. One house, that there's a chance that if you've got to sell your house in the next few years, you're going to take a 50% loss. And the other house, that you're going to get your money back probably. And they're almost identical houses. Who would sit there and really go, you know what, I'm feeling risky. I'm going to take the one that, that I could lose the money on. And you buy the one next door that looks identical to it, costs half the amount. And if you need to sell it, there's a good chance you're going to get your money back. Or, if you got to wait 3 years from now, there's a very good chance you're going to make money on the house. Where the other house, you're never going to get your money back. There's almost no chance that if you ever sell the original house, the Disney house, you'll ever get your money back.
I mean, not to bring up like a different subject, but like your son was talking about how, you were at, was it Raglan Road, and he sees all these people spending thousands of dollars to come here on vacation, and then you live here. Well, it's like when I go to Vero Beach, and I'm like, I'm using my points that I bought at resale. I'm using points that I bought at Saratoga because I'm using them less than 7 months. And it's like, this family over here could be, somebody that bought direct from Disney could bought in the last 6 months. It's like, they don't even know that resales exist, or this family, is renting a rack rate directly from Disney. I mean, it's the Disney Vacation Club is, on the resale side of things, it is there for you to, I don't want to say take, the only words is like take advantage of. It's like, listen, you can get in and you can basically, it's like, what do you miss? Like, what are you trying to do with the resale, with the direct benefits, Yeah. Are you trying to do the Moonlight Magic, which may or may not even be on the night that you're trying to go?
Or you can use it on a cruise, which is a terrible use of points, and it'd be much cheaper to rent out your points and pay cash for the cruise.
Or join Scott on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Join me on the Caribbean as well.
Look at this guy. He's not even going on a Disney cruise. Well, he has, but
I've gone
anyway.
too. But yeah, in all honesty, for my family, it would be, unless there's some great promotion as a TA, it's hard for us to justify Disney cruises at this point. They're so much more, and you get less.
For a second there, I thought you were like teaching economics at TA at UCF on the weekend. But I realize now what TA is. So
travel agent.
Travel agent, yes. So now we're on.
Segue. Now we're on to the food that we are. Okay, food of the week.
Well, I don't see how, as a DVC, I don't see how you're going to pick up the phone and be like, oh yeah, I want to buy 200 points at Animal Kingdom from 183.
It's hard to justify it. I think most people who are doing this don't realize that there's a resale market where you could, instead of paying $210, you could pay $110 or less. You pay half of what you're
And
charging.
and I know
for 95% of the same thing.
And I don't think the DVC guys are doing this anymore, but maybe they are. Like the scare tactics. Oh, you're not going to get a clean title or this or
If you
that.
buy resale, you can only stay at that. That's right. I've heard that so many times over the years. If you buy resale, you can only stay at that resort. No.
Yeah.
No, it's not the case. You buy Animal Kingdom, you can't just stay at Animal Kingdom. You can stay anywhere except for Riviera. Riviera is always the...
And there's no issue with the transfer of title, anything. It's all easy peasy, lemon squeezy or whatever the saying is.
Lemon squeezy. I was hoping you were going to.
And so now we're on to the food review of the week.
Ty, do the thing you do, man.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So for today's food review, I am back at Steakhouse 71. Last time we really enjoyed the restaurant. We had their cheesesteak, their prime rib cheesesteak. It was decent. Nothing to write home about, but we were very happy there. We also tried their stack burger. The signature blend of beef, pork belly, American cheese, lemon aioli, red onion, house-made pickles on a brioche bun. Served with petite Caesar salad, Parmesan fries, or pasta salad, and I chose of those three.
Parmesan fries.
Parmesan fries, you darn right I did. $21. Little expensive for a burger, $21, but we both really enjoyed this burger a lot. I don't think it was as good as the ones we've had recently at Wilderness Lodge, which I think were the best ones I've had on property so far. But this was very, very good. Again, very juicy for burger. Not the one at Wilderness Lodge was like oozing juice. It's hard to even compare it to it. But it was cooked perfectly, great flavor. I love that they had a little extra pork belly on there as well. And plus, it's not just like ketchup on your burger. They do something special. They put the lemon aioli on there. I give this an 8.6. I would definitely get this burger again.
You're going on a run of high scores here.
I know. I mean, the prime
We went through a run last year where it was like 5 bad things in a row. This is a good run here.
I remember last year, I think it was probably last year or whatever. Every week I'd come in, I'd say something, your head would drop. It's like, no, not again. A 3-point this. We've had a good run recently. I will tell you, last week when we went to Raglan Road, I tried something else again, including a burger, and I will be doing a review of that burger as well. It didn't do as well as this burger. I'll tell you that much. This is my little teaser that's be coming in probably a couple weeks or so, because I've got some things lined up already, but the Raglan Road burger was a little more of a disappointment than this burger, which was a little bit more of a disappointment than the Wilderness Lodge burgers, but this was still solid burger. I'd get this again. $21, a little rough, but good burger.
Now we're on to the DVC-Rental side of things.
So for a little fun, I know I didn't really give you much notice about this, because honestly, we like to keep each other in the dark about this type of stuff, but I decided to do the most underrated rides at each Walt Disney World park. So these are rides that are pretty good, but I feel like they don't get the love that they deserve. Now, Jason has not really even known about this, so maybe he could try to come up with some stuff as I talk, or a lot of times he'll be listening to me and he won't even hear it. But I'm going to start with Animal Kingdom. And for the most underrated ride, I'm going to go with Dinosaur. While it's loud and dark, it's a little bit scarier. I find that's a really fun line, fun ride, exciting. It's got great animatronics in it. And lines typically not too bad. I mean, a lot of the other rides at the park, could have 2-hour waits. Dinosaur is typically in the 20-minute range, 30-minute, or even when it says 20, 30 minutes, a lot of times you walk in and you could just pretty much almost go right into the first room where you watch the video. So, Dinosaur, underrated ride. At Epcot, I chose Living with the Land. It's got smaller lines. It's a nice long ride, fun and informative. And one of the things I really like about Living with the Land is that it's always changing. They're always putting new plants in there, or around different types of the year. They're changing up Christmas time. They'll have like a little snowman in there and they'll decorate things. Different types of year, they're always moving stuff around. So a lot of times, 99% of the rides at Disney stay the same the whole year round. Living with the Land is one that's always changing as well. And again, as I mentioned, it's not just like, there's not going to be corn this time. They're going to have papaya instead. It's also, they add little different hidden Mickeys and they change stuff around. Makes it a lot of fun. Plus, there's a lot of hidden Mickeys that they'll do with floral and plants and stuff on the ride as well. At Hollywood Studios, it's a tougher one for me. I chose Star Tours, While Rise of the Resistance and Millennium Falcon kind of get all of the love, I find that Star Tours is a fun and solid ride, and it's got really cool 3D effects mixed in there, plus much, much lower wait times than Rise of the Resistance and Millennium Falcon. And for the record, absolutely love Rise of the Resistance, one of my favorite rides, but higher wait times. So this is a little hidden gem, a little underrated ride. At Magic Kingdom, I thought for this for a while. I went with the TTA/People Mover, whatever you want to call it. It's a long and relaxing ride. It's got fantastic views of the park. It's got behind the scenes look. You know, you're going behind Buzz Lightyear and you're going into Space Mountain. So you get some behind the scenes of kind of what's going on in some of the other rides. Lower wait times. And this was one of my favorite rides this is one of the rides that whenever, this is in the past before we moved here, whenever we used to leave the park, we always did Magic Kingdom as our last night. You know, we did it several times during the week, but we always ended up at night at Magic Kingdom. And we always ended up doing TTA last, and we just go on the ride, and there's never a line, and we would just stay on the ride and ride it like 5 or 6 times, just enjoying it, taking it all in. And a lot of times while you're on the ride, the fireworks are going off, or the parade at the time when they had the nighttime parades, the parades were going by, and we just sit there and just take in the cool air blowing on you. And it was also great when we first had our kids and they were little babies, and we go on the ride and they'd just sleep with us. We give them a little snack on the ride, because you could actually have snacks. You're not supposed to really have food or drink on the ride, but everybody does it. And if you want a little snack, you have some snacks on the ride, or you put the kids to sleep at night, they just go around and we just sit there and the kids would be sleeping on us and we'd just be enjoying the ride. So it's absolutely one of my favorite rides, super underrated. A lot of people don't even go on it. Just they think it's silly, it just goes in a circle. It's like a mode of transportation. It's a really fun ride to do.
So I only wrote down one ride.
You wrote down, we got one out of you. All this time, one.
Well, I was listening to you too.
I know, you got excited listening to me, and
I like how you break the rules so everybody else breaks the rules. I like that.
so because you didn't do 4 and you've done 1, this means that this must be a really, really good one.
It's the Barnstormer.
It's the. Why am I shocked to hear that?
That's the most underrated ride.
For those who have not seen past episodes, the Barnstormer, you know, Great Graffiti, whatever you want to call it at Magic Kingdom, the little kid roller coaster, is Jason, who's 6'4", his favorite ride to do.
I love the Barnstormer.
I'm sure I've asked this in the past. I guess you can. Space Mountain, Big Thunder.
Space Mountain, that thing, me and my 2 kids will never go on Space Mountain again.
Okay.
Because we get sick on that ride.
Oh, okay. Or Big Thunder.
Big Thunder, I like Big Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah,
It doesn't compare
to the Barnstormer.
to the Barnstormer. The atmosphere.
And it was funny about the rides is this is on a different conversation. So I was listening to Boomer and Geo, which they're both from Long Island, which you're from Long Island,
yes.
You know, and they were talking, a team had come in and, you know, they lost to the Magic, and it must have been the Knicks or the Nets. And then they were asking, like, do the Magic have an advantage because these players are coming in and going, you know, straight to Disney? And of course, somebody was like, well, if they're traveling with their families and it's their first time there, then, you know, they're probably experiencing Disney. But he's like, number one, the Magic are never in the, you know, in the finals, or, you know.
That's because they're busy celebrating Disney all the time. They're wiped out from.
But somebody was like, I don't think that the NBA players are jumping off the plane to run to Space Mountain. And I was just imagining that in my head. I'm like, yeah.
They're not fitting on Space Mountain either. Space Mountain's a tight fit for me, and I'm 6'1". It's got to be really tough.
Wait, is there a height? So then that made me think, is there a height
there's
limit?
There's no height limit, but.
I mean, height maximum?
I don't believe there's anything on the ride, but it's
so you can go. You can be 6'9".
You'll be really uncomfortable though, because your knees are going to be up in your face.
But you can be 6'9" and go on.
I think so. There's nothing posted that there's. I don't think on any ride that I've ever seen that there's ever been a maximum height.
That's interesting.
But you know, it's supposed to.
Because somebody said that
really uncomfortable though.
So, but back to, I mean, the Barnstormer. I mean, when was the last time you were on the Barnstormer?
4 years ago.
And did you enjoy it?
It's not a horrible ride. It's a kiddie coaster, but I mean it's not a bad ride. It's one of those things that always shocks me because there's so many great rides there, and also you're a 6'4" guy. I'm like,
yeah, but
I remember it's not comfortable for me. It's
perfect.
6'1".
It's got a little bit of excitement. You go upside down. Wait, no, you don't go upside down.
I'm like, upside down? What ride are you thinking of? There's no upside down.
Well, you come close to coming upside down.
Have all these times, have you been saying you like the Barnstormer and it's actually something else?
No, it's the
Are you sure it's not
Barnstormer.
like
I know
rock
it's
and
the
roller coaster
Barnstormer.
or something? Where you
No,
go upside
it's
down
the
and
Barnstormer.
Aerosmith music is playing?
It's the Barnstormer.
The Barnstormer. The kiddie coaster.
Yes.
My 6'4".
I mean, it's not a kiddie coaster. I mean, you don't want to send your 2-year-old on a thing by himself.
No, not by himself, but there's 3-year-olds who ride. Well, I guess some smaller kids ride Big Thunder.
There's got to be, there's a minimum on that height on that ride, right?
Yep, there absolutely
is it?
5 inches. You got to be at least.
I bet it's 42 inches.
I don't know. It could be. Probably.
You're throwing it out there like little.
It's just
like all these kids might be rushing to go there. They can't even go on there. 35, see?
35 inches, not even 42, 35. You got to be like 2 to go on it. And there's Jason sitting there with his Mickey ears on.
I would also say this is not a park. This is not in a park, but the Skyliner is underrated.
Okay.
You know, I feel like
I think so.
I feel like with Disney, there's a lot of things that get hyped up.
Yes.
And then once the 4 to 8 weeks hype, and then it just no one talks about it ever again.
Yeah.
Whereas to me, you should go on the Skyliner. You know,
I'm not somebody who likes being held by something like knowing that there's nothing underneath me, knowing that there's just a little rope that's over my head and that's what's holding my butt up. But I really do enjoy. I enjoy the Skyliner. I do. I don't like it if it stops because it gets a little hot. But
wait, does that mean you don't zip line then?
I mentioned on the Wonder of the Season video that I did previously is that I had a free zip line on the cruise, and my son did the zip line like 15 times. I've never done a zip line.
Oh, never done a zip line? Not even like,
well, here's
50 yards?
We're supposed to do a cruise June or July, in summer 2024 with the EDCOT group. And I think one of the things that they're planning on possibly doing is a bunch of people going zip lining. So there's a chance I may
at a port?
Yeah, at one of the ports.
Do you remember which port it is?
That's at Labadee, which is Royal Caribbean's other.
That's a really nice zip line, right?
It's the longest in the Caribbean. Yeah, longest zip line in the Caribbean. So they might get me up for that one. I'm not
Wait,
sure.
you might not go?
I might not go on the zip line.
Which part about it again?
What?
Which part? Because it's holding you up?
I'm worried I'm going to fall, man.
But there's no motion sickness, no nothing.
No, none of that. Not worried about that. I'm worried about this thing snapping and my big butt falling down.
You're not.
I think a lot of it, honestly, is that I used to be very thin. And I think over the years, as I've put on weight, I'm more self-conscious about my weight. And so I sit there and I go, I'm a bigger guy. Is this going to hold me? What if it snaps? And also I sit there and I go, now I love my life and I love my job and I've got a wonderful family, and I just go, I'm more worried about dying now than when I was a kid. I'm sure when I was 18, I was like, let's do this. Now my son asked me about that the other day because he asked about like skydiving. Like, not that he wants to go, but he's like, would you do skydiving? And I'm going, I would have done it when I was like 18 or 20. I said, I don't want to do it now. And he's like, why not? I'm like, because I have too much to live for. If something happens, I said, I got my family. It's like I have a nice life set up here. I don't want to jump out of a plane unless I have to. I feel like that zip lining. I'm like, I don't. I'm a.
What were his thoughts? Does he want to go skydiving?
My youngest one, I'm sure would. My oldest one, no chance. No chance. He's much.
Have you done the indoor skydiving?
No, I've never.
Okay.
Done that.
Has he done that? The youngest?
No, I don't think so. No, he hasn't. But that like doesn't worry me. But like just when I'm, on a roller coaster, I love coasters. I prefer if I'm sitting on a coaster and the track's under me than if when I've done them before, like at Six Flags, where like Superman ride, where you're held from the track above you and you're just looking, you've got the harness on you and you're literally facing down and there's nothing underneath you. And you're like, if something happens, I'm going straight down. Versus a coaster where if something happens, I'm sitting on the track. It's not a big deal.
So Malik's going to be doing the zip line?
I don't know, maybe.
And Jeremy?
Jeremy is all on board for the zip line. Jeremy's very excited about the zip line. And I know Cassandra and her husband Chris who Cassandra works for us, is excited about the zip line. So there's a lot of people who are doing the zip line stuff, and I'm like, maybe I'll join you. That's still up in the air. I'm worried about dangling from stuff. Again, I'm sure it's safe and there's no issues, but I'm a little bit of a wuss on stuff like that. And I go, you know what? I don't want to plummet 300 feet to my death. Just a Scott thing. I don't know. All right.
That's a weird way to end, but I would say the Barnstormer. Scott said Dinosaur, Living with the Land, Star Tours, People Mover.
Nice, you got them all. You were paying attention. See,
And
you're paying too much attention and not
feeding his kids on the People Mover. I didn't even know that was
legally feeding his kids. They say you're not supposed to, have any food or drink on the ride.
Really?
Yes, but it's just.
But like you say, everyone does.
A lot.
That's a good place to
I'm not
grab
saying
a snack.
I'm not saying you should whip out a pizza, but if you have some goldfish and
Right, a protein bar or something.
Exactly. You're not hurting anybody.
Banana.
But make sure you don't leave any garbage behind. That's
Exactly.
all. Nobody's going to bother you. Don't leave any garbage behind. Don't be that person. But yeah, enjoy your little snacks and drinks.
Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think is the most underrated ride at the park.
Let us know how you break the rules at the park like I do. Have a wonderful day.
See you next week.